I'm nervous. I don't know about you guys, but what's up,
Nervous
guys?
for the season or nervous for
No,
Anyway, it's
I,
finally here, man. It's finally here.
I think
yeah.
Femi,
I
go
think
ahead.
I think I called it out yesterday at halftime, even though Casey said we shouldn't put anything in the group chats. But at halftime, my comment was Wahala Day because that first half performance was
They
scary.
they outplayed us well.
Okay.
I,
Oh, the but
I
But
don't know that I don't know
I
that they
don't
outplayed
know if
us.
they
Right,
actually did that. I think
right.
I would say
guys, we're
they
it
getting
outplayed
looks
ahead
us.
of
like
ourselves. I got time out, everyone. Let's make sure our guests know who we are, right? Don't you think it's fair? We all grew
Okay,
up with.
sure.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. So, fellas, guys, girls, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you're watching or listening to this from. We hope everybody is doing well. This is the very, very first episode of Gunpowder Banter. I hope everyone is excited for it. You could already hear the excitement here. We wanted to jump right in before even formally introducing ourselves to our guests and to people listening to us. So we're four friends, four good friends that met back in college. We bonded over late nights, bad takeouts, endless debates about Arsenal. We also played a Pro Evolution soccer on Friday nights while our friends went out clubbing. I mean, we did it all, and there was always a passion for soccer. So if you know each of us, you know that Arsenal has always been at the center of every conversation that we've had ever since. So this podcast is just basically our group chat that is being brought to the airwaves. It's uncut, it's passionate, and sometimes it's a little bit reckless, but it's always going to be honest.
Yeah, with some
We love
ridiculous
this club.
takes.
We stressed about the club, and now we're ready to share all of them with you. So today we're going to dive straight in about Arsenal's opening match with Manchester United. We're going to keep this short. We're going to try to make sure that we don't overextend this. Even though it's our first episode, it might be a little bit long because we'll start by telling you about just ourselves and how we became Arsenal fans, how we became Gunners. So I'll let everyone talk about who they are, talk about their experience, just a quick, short intro to themselves and how they became Arsenal fans. So, Oshoke, do you want to start?
yes. So my name is Oshoke, and I've been an Arsenal fan since the mid-90s. Since Kanu went to Arsenal from Ajax, and ever since then I've just been a fan. And it's a little funny because my whole house is filled with Manchester fans because we lived in Manchester before moving back to Nigeria. So yeah, it was kind of interesting being the only Arsenal fan in the house.
Yeah, it's a tough place to be, I understand. What about you, Namdi?
Hey, hi guys. My name is Namdi. My love for Arsenal started when I was very young. Actually, my mom was central to that. She went to the market, bought me an Okrika Arsenal jersey, JVC one. I did not know what team that was. To me, it was just a nice looking red shirt, looked nice. People always giving me compliments. Until my cousin saw me wearing it, and he's a Manchester United fan, very big one, and my brother as well, a very big Manchester United fan. So he told
So the
me
banter started early.
exactly, how it is. So he told me, this is the Arsenal jersey, it's a nice club, not as good as Manchester United, but they're good enough. And I was like, you know what? I don't mind. I like the team. At that time, I think they had just won a cup. I can't remember. It was like in '94. It was about '94. They just won a cup. And then my love for Arsenal was further strengthened when Kanu Wankwo joined the club. So that was it for me. From then on, I went through the ups and downs of the club. I still love it, even though it pains me sometimes. And I keep asking myself, why am I supporting this team? But I can't switch. It's like a marriage at this point.
See where that passion started. All right, over to you, Femi.
Yeah, I sense a recurring theme here. My name is Femi. Here, everyone. My name is Femi. I come from a family of Arsenal fans. My dad's an Arsenal fan. My two brothers are Arsenal fans. My sister, even though she doesn't follow football, is an Arsenal fan because we adopted her. Even though she's married to a Chelsea fan,
Ooh, tough time.
we um it's always been there, but it kind of got solidified when Kanu moved to Arsenal. And, this was late 90s, was in boarding house in Nigeria, was no internet, trying to figure out scores. They'd kind of score over the weekend, what's going on with the Arsenal. And it was just the obsession kind of grew over time. And similar, and then obviously our Igwe, Henri, the Henri
That's right.
years, the
The one and only.
Invincibles.
the invincible years,
Mhm.
so I mean, it kind of grew over time, and moving to America as well. Looking for football, you can't find it. Nobody used to show games back then, unlike now where you can watch every single game live. It's been a very interesting journey, and I mean, like you guys, I wonder why I'm putting myself through this, but at the same time, I console myself and I say you can't know the joy of victory if you haven't known the agony of defeat. So
Hmm. Well spoken.
we keep it pushing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But can,
This
can we
is
know,
his
can we know
year. This
a
is our
little less
year.
defeat, please?
Yeah, one thing to wish for. For me, it's the Cameroonian connection. Alex Song, prior to that, Lauren, right back Lauren, did wonderful things for the club. And then when Alex joined, it just drew me to the club. And the more I learned about the club, Arsene Wenger, and just what the club represented, right? They were not about buying trophies. They were not about spending crazy amount of money. It was about pure football. It's about just enjoying the football, right? Molding talent, encouraging talent. I remember when Wenger used to play the kids, right? I remember when Fabregas broke into the scene. There was just a lot of memories about young talent that eventually made it because of Arsenal. And then, of course, the Invincibles as well. I mean, who can never forget the Invincibles? Never, never, ever replicated again. And we hope that it never gets beaten. So
Hopefully
that's
we
my
can replicate it.
yeah, well,
I
hopefully
know,
only
right?
we can replicate it, right?
Yeah.
And that would be something that we can keep rubbing in the hands and the eyes of
Nobody
every
has a
other
gold
fan.
trophy. We
No one
own that.
else.
We own
Yeah.
that.
Yep. So with that being said, let's jump right in. I know guys are eager to hear what we have to say. But I mean, it's been a rough couple of years with Man U. Remember Ferguson, Wenger. You remember 2011, 8-2? I remember looking up the score and I thought that
This guy, don't
it was
remind
an
me, man.
aggregate
Don't
about aggregate of scores across the season. It was
I
crazy.
shamelessly watched that game to the end.
don't remember. I think I switched off after like 5-0 or something like that. Something
I couldn't
ridiculous.
stop. I kept
I'm,
hoping.
I'm going to call that ancient history, and we're going to delete this part
We
of the podcast, the recording
delete
on
it.
the podcast. We don't need to be talking about
We don't
this.
need to talk about.
Hey, there's no cutting here. Everything goes to live stream. I'm sorry, Femi. But I saw a stat and I was looking at this. The last games we played, the last 6 games versus Man U, we've won all of them. It was 3-2 home, 3-2 at home. We won them 1-0 away. We beat them 2-0 again at home. And then we drew 1-1 and then 1-0 again today. So the last 3 away games at Man U, we've only scored 1 goal. So when you looked at the team sheet, did it surprise you, the players that Arteta picked, based on everything that's going on, based on preseason? What were your thoughts when you saw the team sheet come up?
I
Okay.
won't say surprised.
Yeah, I think you guys,
I
I think you
wasn't.
guys know you guys know my thoughts. Once I saw the team sheet, I saw
You,
Calafiori
you wanted
starting,
to
and I
have
knew,
it.
I knew there was going to be disaster
I
on
don't know.
that on that
I don't
on that
think
left hand flank.
I don't think he gets as much credit as a defender as he should. He's actually not that bad. Like defensive. We
He's
know him
really
more
not.
for bombing forward all the time. We know him more for bombing forward a lot.
Except he gets beaten for pace all the
He,
time, every
but
single time.
in this
But
And he
it's
game,
not like
and if you're going to play against pacey wingers, pacey right wingers from the other teams,
yeah.
you need to cover that. And it's not happening with Calafiori. If he was
But
playing in the center, if he was playing in the center, if he was playing in the center of defense, I would be perfectly happy with him. But unfortunately, he's playing left back and he's going to play playing against pacey wingers, and he gets beaten for pace all the time.
No, but I think
Mbumo, and what's his
Cunha.
name?
Cunha,
No. The wing back, the wing
Mason
back,
Mount.
Dallo,
Oh,
Oh,
Dallo.
Dallo,
Dallo.
yeah.
yes.
They were running rings around him the whole first half long. 1-2, 1-2 here, and he didn't know what to do. He looked lost whenever he was on defense. Going forward, by all means, yes, he gives us
Yeah.
all of that. But then in terms of just defensive cover on that left-hand side, there's no trust there. I'm sorry.
Let me ask you a question though. Is it oversimplification to say that you remove Calafiori from this game and we don't win? Because he scored the goal.
Yeah, I think
That
that's
is
about.
He
that is
scored, he
reductive.
scored the
That
ball
is
that was going in
The
already
ball was
anyway.
already going
exactly
in, so
that's reductive.
I can't really give him that much credit. I mean, yeah, he made it safe, but it was going in. Like it was going regardless.
And I was
Yeah.
gonna say
But
it. I was like, when he scored, because Casey, you're always focused on goals, the numbers, but the numbers don't always tell the story. Because the truth of the
I
matter is
mean,
that was going in anyways, and because he scored the goal, then we're gonna say we weren't gonna win the game. It was going in anyways, so we didn't need him for that or whatever. He was bumping forward, but did we get a lot from that in attack? I don't think so. And we were
Yeah,
lucky that we did not concede as a result of the open spaces that we was living in behind.
And there were
but
a
don't
lot of
you
those.
also say that because of a defense resilience, right? There was always a backstop. There was always some kind of belt and suspenders to addressing the issue, knowing that because if you listen to Arteta's post-match conference, he talks about California and the ability to that chaos factor, and he loves
yeah.
it. So don't you think that he sets up the team such that they can cover for that deficiency?
There were
No,
too
he
many
does.
close calls.
That's the whole point
Too
of the.
many close
That's the
calls.
whole point of the double pivot. The whole point
Exactly.
that you play a double pivot, knowing fully well that you have some renegade left back who is going to bomb forward, so you have to cover that side. Now the problem is, it's okay if we're actually getting play, we're getting something from him going up front. He wasn't doing as much. He wasn't doing it that well. But I also think the reason why they brought him on was because of height. Like Teta likes a big back four, and I think what's his name MLS would have had issues, or he felt that MLS would have issues dealing with these guys on that flank. So I don't know. They wanted
So
him in there.
Zubimendi. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Yeah.
No, Zubimendi was essentially relegated to a third center back the whole game because of this, right?
Yeah.
And so we can say belt and suspenders, sure, no problem. But then what happens to us going forward? There is no link-up play in the midfield because Zubimendi is so worried about what's happening there. I mean, Renegade bumping forward, going forward, sure, we'll get this onesie, twosie there, but I don't know that that's the plan, right? Zubimendi is a much better passer, right? And we can use him in terms of linking play in the middle of the field. But essentially, we were too worried about spaces being opened up at the back, and it essentially turned to a back three.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
that's
right.
a good point.
Let's actually not forget that we actually got lucky not to concede. It wasn't because our defense was that great because it covered for Calafiori.
So
Man United just didn't finish.
So I'll caveat that by saying that we improved in the second half. Defensively, we were kind of like Saliba and
We're better in the second half.
Yeah, second half, but definitely better. Saliba and Gabriel were playing like they just met each other yesterday, and they just told them, they play today. I bet me I just start, and that's how they were playing. Like, and after a while, you kind of realize that they grew into it. Zubimendi will come back, get the ball from goalie because he can do that. But then he freed up Odegaard to do whatever he was supposed to do. The problem is the way we were playing. I don't think the players have been used to that. We were playing on defense, trying to play counter football, and we had a lot of. If you notice, we had a lot of 3v3s, 4v4s, and we were choosing the wrong options time and time again.
Every single time.
Every single time. Yeah, 4 people. And that, to me, that's how, if you watch Yokers, that's his game. In Lisbon, in Sporting Lisbon, that's how they play. So you see a lot of 4v4s, that kind of situation where they break. They break with pace. Problem is, when you look at these players playing, they were too close to each other. So by the time you're supposed to stretch the field out a little bit when you're doing those kind of games
and create spaces.
They were not doing that. That's why the passes were going awry.
I
And
want
that's
you to
why
hold that thought. I want you to hold that thought, Namdi, so that we can touch on that when we get to the next segment.
Sure.
Because let's talk about this the players again, the lineup. We've talked about Calafiori. Anything else jump out at you? Anything else that seemed odd, out of the ordinary?
The one thing I expected was
okay.
sorry, no, go.
No. I was gonna say like the lineup to me didn't surprise me. I mean, what we were thinking would be left back was the main issue. Were we gonna play MLS or were we going to play Calafiori? The team basically picks itself.
Yeah.
Maybe
if you remember, I called Calafiori on the left back. What I called on right back was Timber.
Right.
Oh yeah, yes,
right. That was
right.
a surprise.
You're right.
Timber.
That was a surprise to me.
That was a surprise.
And
but
when Timber came in, when Timber came in
in
the second half, when Timber came in the second half, he shut it down.
He shut down that.
He did
on their left hand side, on our right hand side. It was miles ahead of what Ben White was doing.
It was definitely better. But like I said, like to me, it depends on what kind of game you want to play. If you anticipate that wingers are going to be flying down on both flanks and causing a lot of havoc, I would be more comfortable seeing Timberlake. But if you think that you're going to get more joy on that wing, on the right wing, then Ben White has better combination play with Odegaard and Saka. The problem is Saka was crap the whole game,
all game long.
Yeah, he didn't have a really good game.
He did not have a great game.
To be fair, it goes to the whole team.
No, the whole team sucked. First half, I mean, and the fact that we got an early goal kind of like, made us feel like, okay, we have something to hold. Let's not give up let's not give up too much space here and there. Only break when you need to, that type of thing. And then if you notice, like Man United, these guys were not trying to play midfield battle with us. They were bypassing the midfield. They said, no, we cannot play these guys at their game. Because I looked at their midfield, I was like, these people are playing Casemiro. They want chop. They want chop goals today. But then when you look at the play, you see them diagonals.
It was the wing backs. They were using their wing backs.
Diagonals,
Dalo
and Dogo.
Dogo. Yeah,
Dogo.
and Dogo
because
they were killing
Remember that shot?
On paper,
Remember that Dogo shot?
On paper, if you look at Man United's midfield, that midfield cannot get you top 4. You're playing Bruno next to Casemiro, old man Casemiro. You want
you know what's funny? I didn't hear Casemiro's name the whole game.
The whole game.
We had
because he didn't need
made
to
that
do
one
anything.
bad pass. Remember, he made that one back. He wanted that blind back pass, and we stole the ball, and we've wasted it. And I don't know if you guys remember.
He didn't need to do too much because we were woeful.
Yeah. But so, and let me ask you this question, Oshoke. Do you think that the way Arteta set up your team for the Man U game was kind of out of the ordinary? It wasn't a typical Arteta type of team in the way he set it up?
It wasn't. It really wasn't. And I see that because he was trying to play to the strengths of Gyökeres. That's what he tried to do, which is not his regular type of play.
It's not.
Right? This is something new to him. He hasn't played with a real striker. If you remember, when he was in City, he had Aguero, who is not a out-and-out striker. Right?
That's arguable.
I mean,
he can do the job, but Aguero can also come back and get the ball. He's not like
so he's not like a Haaland or
Gyökeres or 9.5.
whatever. He's like a Jesus on steroids. Essentially, is what Aguero is. Right? So think about it. So he went there. From there, he came to Arsenal, got Jesus. So and then Havertz. So he really hasn't coached a out and out striker. So this is new to him too.
But do you think that, and Femi, let me ask you this based on what Oshoke said, right? Do you think that the whole idea of playing to the strengths of Gyökeres, because he's last defender on your shoulder type of runner against the ball, right? But do you feel like we gave him the opportunity to shine, to show his talent? Because
not at all.
Yeah, yesterday, no.
It was
no, not at all. I can answer that straight out. Here's the truth. The game plan was to play to his strengths, but it didn't happen because Saka was crap. Odegaard always made the wrong choices when we were 4-on-4, and Martinelli on the left-hand side was crap as well.
It was Martinelli.
Well, Martinelli was being Martinelli. So the truth of the matter was he had no service, right? But to this whole point of we want to play to his strengths, I have no issue with that whatsoever. My problem is this. We all talked about how we became Arsenal fans, right? We enjoyed beautiful, free-flowing football, right?
Yeah,
Let's just move the ball.
Wenger ball.
Wenger ball, free-flowing football. Let's just play and do this, right? And when Arteta first came on, the first couple of years, we saw a little bit of that, right? The
22, 23, yeah.
Yeah, we saw a little bit
But
of that in the Ozil days.
the Ozil days,
Aubameyang.
not that much, but
Yeah,
the Ozil days he had crap defenders. So remember, he was playing
Mustafi.
3-5, 3-4-3 at that
correct.
time.
My point was we still saw exciting football, and then he pivoted and then said, "Hey, I want to move to defensive solidity. Let's control the ball, hold everything, do possession type football," and then went away from it. We were getting some wins, but it wasn't getting us over the line, right? And now we have Gyökeres here, and then now we're trying to play this hybrid thing, and it just feels like the players determine the system for Arteta versus Arteta having a mind of his own in terms of a system of what he wants to play, right? It's just who is the best player out there we can go get. We go grab a player, whatever, and then we try to make a system that's going to work for those players versus having a system that works. And if it works, it works. That's fine, but it's not working, and that's my biggest problem here. Here's the other thing. Here's the other thing I'm saying. A lot of people are talking about, hey, it's 1-0 to the Arsenal. We won at Old Trafford. We've been winning over there and everything is fine. What I have not heard anybody talk about, this was the first game of the season. Like you're setting a trend for the season. This is how the season is supposed to start. And if that's what the trend is and what we're supposed to start the season with, like we're coming off preseason, we're supposed to be prepared. We had a decent transfer window and then everything just looked stale. Like, and that's the best way I can describe it, is it was all stale. And we're like, how can we start the season looking that stale? It is not okay. It just isn't.
Well, we also started the season without any red cards and without any. So in some way, we're making progress. I mean, go ahead, Diesel.
Now, I just want to say, like, I get that everybody were upset and everything, how we played. Obviously, we're happy we won. I do not believe that this is how we're going to play the whole season. I don't. No. Let me say that I don't want to believe that this is how we're going to play.
I think it's a new system, so because it'll take some time to get used to it.
It's going to take some time. So I'm going to look at it after first 5 games. I know we have a tough stretch of matches, but I'm hoping that after the first 5 games, we can kind of see, some kind of like patterns forming that will now tell you, okay, we're almost there, or we are there. Gyökeres did not have a preseason. Remember, did not have a preseason.
Yeah,
barely had one. He flew. He as soon as he signed, flew to Hong Kong,
to Singapore and
Hong Kong, and played for like not even up, like 40 minutes or even less than that, and then played the next match. Played the Bilbao match. So he hasn't really had a full season, a full preseason. So we have to give him time. We have to give him grace. If you notice, when Havertz came in second half, our game kind of changed. Like we started getting better, and that's because
our offense stalled completely.
But I believe that's because we now reverted to the system that we are used to.
Right.
So it looked better. But if we want to win games, I mean that horseshoe of death that we keep going from left to right is not going to do it. It's not going to cut it.
So, in my opinion, right, if you look at every player that's in the Arsenal team, right, everyone holds their own. I know when we talk about Martinelli here, there's some question marks, granted, but everybody as an individual holds their own. But as a collective, I mean, I'm talking about the first 11, the one that played.
Okay, the first 11 that started on.
The first 11 that started on Sunday. They held their own. So, but if you look at the gameplay of the collective, right, the questions now start coming in. Like, if you notice, every time we broke in transition, Odegaard made a wrong decision. He had that one beautiful pass where that Casemiro bad pass, he laid it over to Gyökeres. Gyökeres went and forgot the ball behind and then tripped the guy and fell. You had Martinelli kicking the ball, broke out and then kicked the ball and went to throw. So
we even had Gyökeres.
It's funny,
Gyökeres
right?
had a cross that went from one corner, from the corner
to the throwing to the other side. Yeah, remember that one.
So in all
that one no
honesty,
be that
right?
one no be preseason though.
So in all honesty, I believe that we have not clicked in yet.
Yes, there's some rust. There's some
The
rust.
gears, there's still so many gears for us to get into, and we're not there yet.
And
And
that is a
and
good the
that's the
positive to
positive
take
side
from
about it, right?
from the match.
Now
It
when
can
I
be
look at the
positive.
way,
Wait. Hold on, Casey. Yes and maybe. Here's the thing.
let me finish my point real quick, right? Before you jump in. Now, Ateta said something which kind of, if you notice that there was a lot of ping pong in the second half, especially, right? It was almost transition and then we lose transition and then they break
then they
back. And
come
Ateta
back,
said that in his match conference that like when you lose your transition, when you're going forward and you lose your transition, you're more likely gonna be broken against in transition as well, and it opens you up for massive goals. Now, I mean, hats off again. This is an Arsenal podcast, but hats off to Man U. They were very brilliant in getting the ball up to Mbeumo immediately. I mean, the speed of getting the ball to Mbeumo and the way Mbeumo is cooking on that right wing, man, I wish we had him. Over to you, Femi.
No, so you just made my point about Calafiori, but you were disagreeing with me when we are talking about.
No. I didn't disagree with you. A good player is a good player, regardless of the defender too. Saka
Right.
is a good player, regardless of who he comes up against.
So the point I was trying to make is, did we see any patterns yesterday? Can anybody really say we saw something of a pattern in terms of how we want to play? Like,
Dude,
you guys are right.
That match is a wash. Just
Right.
forget.
It was exactly, that's my point. It just wasn't clicking. And this is me being honest. When I looked at the schedule, first 5-6 games are going to be tough. We're starting at Old Trafford. Like, I didn't even expect us to win that game. I'm being perfectly honest with you, right? I honestly would have preferred for us to play well in that game, or at least show the patterns, show how we're going to play, and show ourselves, right, and come out with a draw.
I disagree.
Than what happened there, where we're actually where we won the game, and now everybody's saying we'll take 3 points because we got it at Old Trafford. But it was essentially nonsense because we can't build. It's a 38 game season, right? If you extend that game out 38 games, we're not going to be more than sixth. That's the truth.
Here's the problem. Then. You want to be able to grind out wins, even when you play bad.
Yes.
If in February, in December and January and February, I agree with you. On the first day of the season, I disagree 100%.
If you are rusty on the first day of the season and you are playing,
is expected. Look, we had undoubtedly the toughest start.
First game.
Chelsea played Crystal Palace and almost lost. And should have lost.
Yeah.
They should have lost that game. City played people that they're supposed to beat any day of the week. They should be beating those people. Wolves is relegation fodder. Liverpool came against Bournemouth. Bournemouth has sold their best defender. They sold their best defender, selling other people. Nobody expected that Bournemouth would do anything. So in our case, we were like, I mean, Manchester United, as shitty as they've been, we always have issues with them.
And they reinforced.
Yes. And even with their reinforcement, they still could not beat us. So
exactly my point. But you're making it seem like we deserve the win, is my point.
No, we didn't deserve the win, but we're saying we'll take it.
I will take it. Manchester United fans are coming here saying, we take the positive. I said, we take the 3 points. Make they take the positive.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I take the 3 points too.
Collect your positive.
But I'm saying I'm not sleeping well.
No. Of course. That's of course. There's a lot of notes to take from that game. A ton of notes to take from that game. And what I want to see against Leeds is us actually feeding the ball to the middle. Feed it to your corners.
I think it's definitely going to change. First of all, we're at home. So I don't expect us to have the same issues that we had. I mean, we're going to control the game for sure. We're going to control the game. The problem is, I don't know. I want to see how Gyökeres would fit into that style of play because he needs space to run. He's that kind of person. I mean, I know that.
That means we need to open it up.
Huh?
We need to open it up. We need to go wider.
Oh, for sure.
Right. But we have a left footer playing right wing for us, whose number one automatic thing when he does is he wants to go inside. He wants to go inside all the time.
All the time, yeah. Well, you never know. They might Arteta might throw a curveball and put what's his name, Madueke, to play left
instead of Saka.
Okay,
No,
sure.
like,
but even if it does that, what is the long-term strategy with our best players?
With our best, is Martinelli one of our best players? because his position, his position to me is open.
Yes, I think his position is open.
His position is under threat.
And I thought Madueke may be able to fit in there in preseason based on what we saw.
Yeah.
But yesterday he showed us that he was a defensive liability.
No,
say what you want. Say what you want about Martinelli.
He will come back and defend.
Part of the reason why we didn't get blown out on that left-hand side, and I know it's a repeated, I'm beating a dead horse, is because Martinelli kept coming back to defend. That was
for sure.
Okay. Once Madueke came in, it was a completely different story.
But Martinelli has never been, like, we have never really castigated him for his defensive attributes. But the thing is, you don't want your winger to be your best defender. So that on that flank, yes, he works hard. But at the end of the day, the reason we're paying this guy, how much is he making? Like 170, 180K a week?
Yeah,
does he work? Does he play like somebody who's worth 180K a week? He doesn't. So
I can second that with, does Havertz play like somebody who's worth 250K?
No, we can go into Havertz one is a different story. At least Havertz the score.
Let's not start this.
We talked about this the other day. Havertz is not going to score any goal that nobody else will score.
Yeah, let's not start this Havertz the score thing. Now we are talking about Calafiori was not a problem because he scored in this game. Because the person scored, no means say everything.
Calafiori, I like Calafiori.
Look at the totality of it.
I like Calafiori when we're playing against packed defenses because he offers something different.
I feel like Calafiori was brought in because he's a better crosser than MLS.
No, I actually think that he was running for his offensive
he's a better crosser. I didn't say he ended up crossing a lot of balls, but he's a better crosser.
I think Arteta likes him because if you listen to his post-match
loves that guy.
He loves him because of that chaos factor. But let's go back to this Calafiori thing. And I know we don't want to keep our guests too long.
We spent like 30 minutes on Calafiori.
Yeah. But Miles Lewis Skelly, he's been looking shaky to me since preseason. I don't know what you've seen, Namdi. Gave away a ball a little too sloppy. Look at that yellow card he got when he came back. Look at
it's not just since preseason. Like, this is since the beginning of his career.
But I think what's going on is that he's now become a known quantity. People are anticipating that he's going to always try to put his body between the ball and the player. He does that a lot. That's how he defends. That's how he turns. And that's how, he turns that way. Like, you think he's going to lose the ball. Then he puts his body, he turns, and then releases the next person. That's usually how he plays. He's not a good defender. He's an okay average defender because he's not really a defender. He's a midfielder playing defense.
I mean, one thing about him that we've always liked.
And then he's young. So there's going to be some rashness in there. And some disciplinary issues.
A little too much rashness. I told you guys the other day, he reminds me of Maria.
Well, but this is a guy that shut down Rodrigo. I mean, this is a guy that even with Haaland.
Let's not go into Champions League because Real Madrid was crap.
If we even want to go into that, I said this before. Rodrigo is only valued the way he's valued because he plays for Real Madrid. I think he's just an above average winger. That's my opinion.
He doesn't even start for Brazil. He does not start for Brazil.
Not to sidetrack the conversation, right?
Yeah, go on.
On go to tangent, but going back to the original point, do you think that Skelly should have started over Calafiori yesterday?
No.
50-50 for me, but if you remember, I called in for Calafiori. I just saw it being Calafiori starting again.
The answer from me is a yes. And I'll tell you why. He came in, I agree with everything you guys said about him being shaky, the defensive issues. But he's 20 years old, right? Or 19, or how old is he right
19,
now? 19, yeah. He's 19. The point is he's still a kid, right? He has a lot of growing to do. I also agree with Namdi, again, right on the money. He's a known quantity now, and so people are anticipating what he can do, and then and playing him based on that. He'll learn from that too, and he'll grow from it. What he has is that football swagger, that
confidence,
confidence, right? That football swagger. We don't have enough of it in the team, right? And I think he brings something to the team in that respect.
I agree.
For one, I can tell you that he's not getting beaten for pace all the time by some random winger. That's not going to happen. So for me, I would have started MLS.
I think
for all of those reasons, and more so because I think there is a huge chance that he regresses this season if he doesn't get the right opportunities. And so, in order for him to grow, rather than us having to go pay. Think about it. We've been looking for a left back. We got Timber, who was supposed to be left back solution, and then we got Calafiori, and then we're getting all these people. Kivio was supposed to be covered for left back too, and all the people that we've been spending money on. Meanwhile, we've had answers in house. We can grow that and believe in that versus everything that we've been spending money on. And I think long term, future wise, he can serve us in that respect. I mean, we gave him a new contract. We gave him a new contract over the offseason, right? There has to be some belief in there, and we have to grow him based on that.
Yeah.
For sure.
So now he'll definitely get playtime because let's not get this mixed up. Calafiori is going to get hurt, even if he's starting left back. He's going to get hurt.
Is what
so MLS is going to get his opportunities.
We expect Calafiori to not last the whole season. He's gonna go down.
I don't know if he's going to go past the first 10 games without getting hurt.
I mean,
but
he gets hurt just coming out of the bus, so it's very possible the guy go wound. I love the guy, but
finish your statement, Namdi.
I love the guy, and I think I like I said, I think Arteta was looking at it like, okay, these guys were playing Manchester United. They're going to be using wing backs. They're going to be flinging balls in center. Probably thought that Sesko was going to play, and he anticipated that I want big guys in defense to counter that. If they try to use set pieces, we will destroy them with with our defense. I don't think. I mean, he knew he was going to put MLS at some point in the game, but only depending on how the game was going.
Yeah.
So that's just what I think. And to me, it's 50-50, whichever one starts. I don't really care. Honestly, I was saying that our best left back is our right back. Timber.
No, fair point. He has proven, that he can play there, and he has done very well
anyway but the center, I'll take Timber.
We have a big team now, and I think we have good depth, so we have to take advantage of it. So I want to ask you guys real quickly about two players, and then after that, we'll wrap up this segment and just talk briefly about what you want to see in the next game, and then we'll put this out to our fans here.
Did you want any player ratings, or we'll save that for another?
Let's save that for another. I mean, unless you guys want to do it, we can do it at the very end.
Okay.
We'll do it quickly. Okay, let's talk about these two players real quickly. So, Zubimendi, what do you think about his debut?
I think he was being a little too defensive, so we didn't really get to see him, marshal the midfield because he was covering too much in the defense. But the little snippets that we saw here and there, I think he did good.
I think he was the best. He was the best midfielder in that game. Rice did not play anywhere. Rice didn't play well. Odegaard was sloppy in passing. Odegaard did more of defending than I saw him attack. He was always pressing, which is, that's standard. He always does that. It's like the trigger for our press. But to me, he was the best defense. He was the best midfielder, and I like what I'm seeing from him. I think he might be a little better than Partey, as far as being able to. I know I'm in possession. In possession,
I think he's
right.
In possession, defensively,
there's something about Partey's confidence on the ball. In
terms of in terms of winning the ball back, Partey's miles ahead of him.
Partey's miles.
But
let me not say miles ahead. This Zubi has a way of poking the ball away. He doesn't.
Okay, you're right. Let me not say miles ahead. I'm exaggerating, but Partey is better in terms of winning the ball back. He's a much better all-round midfielder, I would say, than Partey, right?
Yes,
but
you can play him forward. You can play him a little farther forward. as an 8.
I actually think he'll be better being played a little further forward.
Yes.
I think we'll see him more, which is why I was kind of disappointed because he was essentially relegated to a third center back throughout this game, which was my thoughts. I think we didn't get a chance to see what he could do because of the way the game played out. So for me, Zubimendi's reserve my comments until we see something different.
Next game we'll see. We'll watch him closer.
I tend to agree with that because I think that because of the game state, right? Game state, he found himself in the defense a lot because of that whole ping pong thing. He didn't get the chance to actually sit in the midfield and dictate play, unlike the last game when we played our last preseason game. Because you could see that double pivot kind of actually worked to a certain extent because they were playing, he was working in tandem with Rice, right? Yeah. And I think it didn't also help that Rice, because Rice has an engine, right? Rice would do all the dirty work, would pick up the mop and clean the floor. And while Zubi can be a little bit more reserved and just kind of be more pointed. But I think that Rice had not a really great game to that. I think, and that was the next question I had for you guys, because I think he picked up a knock early, very early. And I think after that knock, he
wasn't
just
the same.
even when he was substituted, you could tell he was walking with a little bit of a limp. I don't know what happened there, but I'm kind of want to watch that one and see if anything comes out in the news in the next few days.
Yeah, I didn't notice anything in terms of a knock. I agree he didn't have a good game, but who did this whole game, right? So
yeah. And I think our midfield was the anchor to this issue because they were just blowing through our midfield, both vertically and horizontally. I mean, they were just knifing through us like butter. But hopefully there's some lessons learned here that we can take to the next game. So next person is just touch on them real quick is Raya. What you guys think about Raya?
Excellent game.
Raya was
man of the match.
He won the man of the match. I mean, the land of the blind, right? But he had some really he had some really, really shaky plays. But
I think that one game, there was a time he played some kind of pass across the face of goal, something like that. Like
he
has that.
The one where I think it was when Cunha cut him in possession.
Yes,
he tried to dribble.
Yes, and then they almost
dribble. Right.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. He's gonna have those type of games, those type of moments.
It's expected from Raya.
Yeah. I'm not surprised when I see that. I'm just happy it didn't lead to anything, significant.
Yeah,
but as far as a goalie coming to claim crosses, you can't do much better than that guy. That guy he takes away pressure from his defense all the time.
No, talk about the Cunha save. What about that one? That was a super.
Which one from the header?
That may be the save that got him man of the match.
Yeah, exactly.
Was that from the header or the other one?
No, the header was second half. That was Mbeumo.
Yeah,
Mbeumo was
the header was Mbeumo.
And that was
I'm talking about was in the
first half.
First half across the face of goal.
Across the face of goal.
Yeah.
Because again, first half the game changes right then and there if Man U scores.
If they scored, I believe they win the game.
Yeah,
exactly.
they were blowing. They were cooking.
Yeah.
Exactly, they were cooking. If they scored, they win that game. So that save was absolutely monumental for us, and it was not an easy save by any means whatsoever. It was a very, 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 very difficult save. Because you guys keep talking 1-0 to the Arsenal, we'll take the 3 points. That was the 3 points right there for me. The whole game, that save was the 3 points for me, and that's why he's the man of the match.
Yeah, 1-0 to the Arsenal is actually harder to accomplish when you have PGMOL reffing your games too.
That's right.
I've heard that. I don't think Hooper had such a bad game though. I was
wondering.
No,
he did. There were a lot of pushes.
I don't know. I didn't think it was.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. That Saliba tackle.
I saw it again. It was a penalty. Let's be honest. No. Let's be honest. It was a penalty now.
I've seen
it
was
given. A soft penalty.
But it could have been given.
I've seen worse.
It was 50-50. It was have been given. Lighter have been given.
Yes.
I think it was 50-50 for me.
But it was more of a pen than it wasn't. Like if it happened, let's put it the way I look at it is, if it happened to my player, would I want a penalty? And I'll say
hell yes. Right.
And that's my barometer for it. That's why I think it's a penalty.
Look, we didn't get it, and I'm happy. We can sit here and talk about 3 points.
We go talk about
it. No. Which is why I'm kind of surprised when you're talking PGM. No, I thought he had a decent game.
No, I'm just saying that. I'm saying in general that if you're trying to only score one goal and hold on to one goal, anything can change that. That was why we're getting all these draws and all, any small infraction.
Right. I see your point. You're talking more
Yeah.
about the larger what played out last season
Yeah.
and
Like
what we can expect this
exactly.
season.
Like last season,
Right.
if you think your defense is not always going to be 100%, and there's some things you cannot even control.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that? Remember that João Pedro header, the heading of the head. Have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen that penalty?
No,
Ever.
that was a joke for me. That
You've
one
never
was a
seen
joke.
that given.
Have you ever seen the
They,
two
they,
yellow
u-
cards
they
to
use
Martinelli?
Arsenal. They use Arsenal to
No,
set
that was
The
just
two yellow
ridiculous.
to
cards to
set
Martinelli.
standards
On the
Yeah.
same
that
play.
they will never follow the whole season.
All right,
Two
guys.
yellow.
We're
PGM.
45 minutes in, so we got to pick
Yeah.
one: player ratings or what we want to see next game.
Let's
Which one
just
do
do
you guys
what
want
we want to see next time.
Player ratings,
All right.
they're all fives. Just
Yeah,
leave that.
everybody
That's
gets
it.
a 5 for player.
Maybe
Yeah,
Raya gets
yeah.
a 6.
All right. So in just a brief 10 seconds, Femi, what do you want to see against the Leeds game?
I want to see Gyökeres freed up a little bit. I want to see him in possession. I want to see him get opportunities. I want to see service to Gyökeres. That's my primary thing that I want to see in that. Our defense is more or less set for now. We can make changes in there. I've complained a lot about Calafiori, but if he's in there, he's in there. It's not the worst thing in the world. I think there's better selections, but it's six here, half a dozen there. So I'm not really too concerned about that. I need to see some gelling in that attack. And also, we need to get honest about Odegaard and what he gives us in that 10 position, right? I want to see more from him in terms of those. We saw little flashes here and there, in this game, especially from a passing perspective. But we need to see more about that. This game for Saka, I'm just going to chalk it up to something. Old Trafford, first game of the season, whatever, and hopefully he'll be back to his regular self after that. But number one thing I want to see is I want to see actual service to Gyökeres. Like, get him freed up, let him run, let him show his character and what he wants to do up front, and know whether that's what it's going to be. Because if that's not going to work out, let's know early. And if we want to revert back to what we're doing last season and put Havertz in there to be doing the hard work, then I want to know
What
that
hard
early.
work? Gyökeres did more hard work than Havertz did.
No.
Dude,
That's
don't say
not true. That's
That's
not even
not
In
true.
that game,
That is not true.
Oshaka, that's not true at all.
So
Your
maybe
Havertz
that's-
Havertz bias is showing.
Gyökeres was poor pressing. Let's be honest. And I think Arteta even called it out in his after game press conference that there was certain things that we want to see more of him from the pressing perspective that we didn't see. And I agree with that
Did
perspective.
you see how many times Havertz lost the ball and just kind of strolled back?
Oshoke. So your turn now. What do you think gives us 4 or more goals against Leeds?
I think just to expand on what Femi said is the opening up for Gyökeres, right? Create those spaces, be able to feed him more, right? And that really means our wingers playing a little differently, because the way we currently play, they're crowding the box and they're crowding Gyökeres in the box. So we need to change that a little bit and give him a little bit more space, to be able to do something. Other than that, I think everything else, will pretty much be the same as it go on. Defense, midfield, they will get stronger, get more chemistry and build up. But that offense, we need to see a little bit more space open up.
Nam, do you think it's more of the players or more of Arteta that needs to do something?
Dude,
next
it's a bit of both.
Yeah, it's always going to be both.
It's always be both, because he can choose whatever team he wants. If they're having a shitty day, they're having a shitty day. He can try and change the tactics, but there's only so much you can do. I want to see my striker in the striker position and not running the flanks. Why is Gyökeres crossing ball, and who is he crossing to?
In train.
That was my problem with that game. He ran the channels well. I like him running channels and all that. But if you're gonna run the channels, then I need to see somebody taking that position in the center, and you need to give us a quality cross.
No, but to your point, Namdi, it can work. We have Zubimendi and Rice who can run in late, but if they're playing the double pivot and they're all back there, then that's not going to work, and that's also part of the problem.
Have you forgotten the last year of Xhaka?
Yeah,
Right.
I mean,
Xhaka did
That's what he did.
exactly. That's what he did for
That's
us all the
exactly what he
time.
did.
That's exactly what he did.
I don't
So
know what
it looks
I don't
like-
know what it is. Maybe we do need a left-footed 8 to do that.
Well, Nandi just stole my line because I was about to say, it looks like we're finished the podcast without talking about Eze.
No, no.
You just had to bring
So
it
Eze
up.
is gone. Eze is gone.
No. So
We
let
might
me
as well
let me
forget
say
him.
this.
He's gone.
That's actually not what I was going to say.
Okay.
I see what you're saying, but I was going to say he might play Harvard today.
Oh no! Please no.
I'm saying it's an idea.
Give
If in
Havertz two
game-
touches on the ball, he loses
No,
it.
it's an idea. See, so you play Harvard. Let's say we're like tied 1-1. Throwing Havertz as an 8, you have two strikers.
We lose
Technically.
2-1.
No. Havertz
He
is a
will
hard
lose the
worker.
ball.
He's a
He
hard
will
worker.
lose it.
He will do the run.
Guaranteed. He will lose it.
This guy, man, free the guy. I mean,
Do you see how many times he had the ball on a counter
I
attack
know he's
on Sunday
I know
and
he's
what
well
he did?
paid.
Just to all,
No,
all our listeners, this Havertz conversation has been
No.
going on for a long
Hold
time.
on, Casey. But it happened again on Sunday. He was running on goal and he got shy or scared or whatever you want to call
Or
it,
something.
and then he'll stop the ball and then turn around. That kind of how can you lead the line?
Let me
doing
tell you
that?
something. I saw that happen. I think what happened was he realized he didn't have the pace to beat the guy. He didn't have the pace to do it. I saw that turn and I cringed because
They
I'm
were
like,
Right.
converging
dude,
on him. They were
It
converging
wasn't
on
the
him.
same person
too.
that had a counter attack run on goal during
He
preseason and
didn't
scored?
have a pass.
that
He
one
didn't have
at
a forward pass.
preseason now. You know, there's
He
He
didn't have
one
will
a
use
thing,
forward
all his
pass.
energy for preseason.
and it also depends on what angle you're running to the goal. If you're running straight, you have to go straight. But if you feel like, okay, the defender is already showing him to one side, he has to kind of like either beat him for pace or dribble him.
Do you realize
and
that
go
on
straight.
that play there were players running on either
Right,
side of him? He
and
could have laid the
no,
ball
no,
for one of them.
Hold on, Namdi, but those are his two options. You can try to beat the guy for pace, or you could try to dribble him and beat him. Holding the ball back and turning it back to kill a fast break.
The guy
that's
didn't
not
believe
an
himself.
option.
He did not
Exactly,
believe
that's not an
himself.
option.
He didn't believe himself.
And you want to put him as an 8? We will lose that game.
Nah, dude, when we played Harvard as 8 and we're doing okay. The games were disjointed. I give you that. They were
Fellow listeners,
very, very disjointed.
like I said, the Harvest conversation continues. This is not the first time or the last time you're hearing about it, and it's gonna keep going forever. So
Until we sell
have
it.
gone over our time, and but we want to hope that you enjoyed our first episode. This is the first, it's the pilot. As more episodes come in, you will have more guests. We'll switch things out around a little bit just to bring more entertainment to you. But as you can see, when 4 passionate Arsenal fans get on the mic, it's hard to get them off. Reminds me of Wenger. But thank you so much for listening, and we hope that you will stay tuned to us. And if you can, please subscribe to our podcast and to our video, and also give us feedback. Feel free to share in the comments what you want to hear, what you want us to talk about, your impressions, your thoughts, or if you want to be a guest on our show. We're looking forward to keeping this coming to you frequently. We're not going to review every single game, but we are going to review most games that Arsenal play. So if you hit the subscribe button and hit the bell, you will make sure to get notified when we post a podcast. Thank you so much for sharing this time with us. We appreciate you, and long live Gunas.
Yeah, this was
Come
fun,
on,
guys.
you
Thank you,
Gunners.
guys.
Yeah.
This was
Thank you
fun.
guys. Thank you guys.
Thanks, guys.